Hey folks, how's it going? This is Mr. Murray coming to you with a do now for Course 1 Honors for Thursday, April 2nd, 2020. This is going to be solving by taking the square roots. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to solve these four equations by taking square roots. If you haven't seen the lessons from the past couple days, I do recommend you go ahead and take a look at that prior to doing this do now. As we've been spending a couple days working away at square roots. So again, what I need you to do, pause the video, try to solve these four, okay, and then when you're ready, unpause, and I'll show you what I got. Here we go. So to start, I've got x squared is 121. So I'll start by isolating the x squared. So I get x squared is 121. Then I root both sides, and I get x is equal to positive or negative 11. Okay? And you can check your work by plugging it in. 11 squared is 121. Minus 121 is 0. Negative 11 squared is also 121 because it's negative 11 times negative 11. And then you subtract 121 to get 0. All right. Our next one, we have 9x squared minus 49 is 0. So we'll start it off the same way. Just add the 49s. So we get 9x squared equals 49. We now divide by 9, divide by 9. So you get x squared equals 49 ninths. I then will root both sides, and I get x is equal to plus or minus the square root of 49 out of the square root of 3. Or rather, out of the square root of 9, which is 3. Moving on down to the next one. Same start. Minus the 31, minus the 31. Did I modify this one since I started it? No, I didn't. I thought I had. I thought I'd put a number in front of here. So I've got 2x minus 5 in parentheses squared is 0. So I'll square root, square root. So 2x minus 5 has got to be equal to only 0 because the only square root of 0 is 0. That is, no negative number, no different negative number will get this to work. So then I'm going to add the 5, and then I'm going to divide by 2. So you get x is 5 halves, or x is 2.5. I'll take either one because they're equivalent. And let's see if we plug it in. 2.5 times 2 is 5. 5 minus 5 is 0. 0 squared is 0. And 0 plus 31 is 31. Heading down to the last one. Here you do need to subtract. So you get 2x squared equals negative 49. I divide x squared 49 halves. And I take the square root. Well, no number times itself will ever give you a negative, right? Because if you think about it, x either has to be negative or positive. But right, you're multiplying it by itself, right? So then if it's a negative, you're doing a negative times a negative, which is a positive. And if it's a positive, you're doing a positive times a positive, which is a positive. So here's what I'll take. I'll take 1, you could write no real solution. 2, you could write x is not a real number. And if it was not an x, you would just change that letter. 3, I would take the answer, either one of these, or I would take the answer x equals 7i over the square root of 2. If you've learned about imaginary numbers, or I would take x equals 7i root 2 over 2. And these I do not expect you to necessarily know how to do. That's way, way, way out of the scope of this class. If you want to use the imaginary numbers, you can. I'm actually going to talk about a little bit more about that in the video today. But if you say number 1, perfect. 100% correct. You only need to say number 1. If you want to be fancy and say 2, you may. If you do learn how to do the imaginary numbers and you want to write the imaginary numbers, I mean, if it's the right answer, I'm not going to mark you wrong, right? It's the right answer. It's mathematically valid. right? So hopefully you're able to get all three answers correctly. Again, the solutions are plus or minus 11, plus or minus 7/3, 5/2, or 2.5, whichever one you want there. And you can either say no real solution, x is not a real number, or x is equal to 7i over root 2, if you know about the imaginaries. All right, so hopefully you're able to get it all right. I wish you best of luck today. Please make sure you check out the lesson plans. Keep it up. Don't forget to love math. And remember, you can do it. All right, thanks for watching. Can't wait to see you guys tomorrow for the hangout, and have a wonderful day.